Right, everyone. Good morning. So today, thanks for joining us today. Today is our CDC Strategy 2 Tribal Overdose Prevention Program kickoff meeting. So it's provided by USET Office of Tribal Public Health Integrated Community Health Team. We're doing it a little bit differently this time. We invited all of our subrecipients to present today. Next slide. All right, Jaleesa.
This is gratitude, the quality of being thankful, readiness to show appreciation for, and return to kindness. Think of one thing in your life that you're grateful for in this moment. Always remember to focus on the now and express gratitude in every moment of your life. Hold on to the one thing that you're grateful for when circumstances present themselves. And breathe in peace, love, and light. These are our housekeeping notes. The virtual kickoff event will be recorded. Please mute yourselves if you're not speaking. Please feel free to ask questions anytime by unmuting yourself or using the chat. And a summary of this meeting and presentation will be provided in a few weeks.
All right, we're going to go ahead and do some staff introductions. Um, all right, I will go ahead and start with me. I am Bernice Jordan. I am the Integrated Community Health Program Manager here at USET in the Office of Tribal Relate. Oh my gosh, I the Integrated Community Health Program Manager. Um, what is my superpower? Um, what did I say I wanted to do? Time manipulation. That's what I was looking at. To relive moments so I can go back and have my kids little again. So that's what I want to do. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hand it off to Myrene.
Hi guys, I'm Irene Ross and I am the administrative assistant. A superpower that I would like to have is teleportation to make it easier to travel to places. I'm gonna kick it off to Javeria.
Hi everyone. My name is Javeria Zafar. I am the program coordinator for ICH. I'm pretty new to the role. I started just about 3 months ago. Um, if I had a superpower, I think I would like to be able to see into the future. That's what I want my superpower to be. I will pass it off to Jaleesa.
Hi, I am Jaleesa. I am the project administrator for ICH. And if I had a superpower, it would be to be invisible so that I could go anywhere and be anywhere whenever I wanted to be and be nosy. I'm going to pass it off to Jocelyn.
Can everyone hear me okay? Okay. My name is Jocelyn Martin. I'm the ACDP grant coordinator. My role with this project is just kind of keeping track of budgets and timelines and things like that for all USEC grant related things. I feel like everyone stole all the good superpowers. If I had a superpower, it would be to fly. I'll pass it off to Mel.
There you go, everyone. My name's Malorina Back. I'm Wolf Clan of the Mohawk Nation. My title is I'm the Assistant Clinical Director for our Alcoholism Chemical Dependency Programs. And my role with this project is I just kind of oversee the whole project, making sure any of our vouchers are submitted, reports, things like that, making sure that our strategies are being implemented. And if I had a superpower, um, my littles, my grandkids say my superpower is I know everything that's going on. They think I have eyes behind my head. If I was to pick one, I think it would be able to be able to breathe underwater. I love the water. I would like to just be able to walk around underneath the water for extended periods of time, I guess. So that's me. Um, and I'll hand it off to Trish.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Trish Garo. I'm the program coordinator for ACDP outpatient. I'm from the St. Regis Mohawk tribe, and my role with this project is I get to spend the money. um, let's see here. Superpower would be I'd like to read people's minds. I want to know what everybody's thinking all the time. Let me see here. I'll send it over to Terry.
Hi, Terry McHale from the Mohegan Nation, Director of Behavioral Health, Addiction, and Social Services. I help manage and implement and develop programming for the project. And if I had a superpower, I'd like to be able to communicate with animals on a two-way street. I talk to them, but I'd like them to be able to talk back to me, kind of like Dr. Doolittle. And then we have Stephanie Lipka here. I'm going to pass it to my teammate.
Yes, I'm Stephanie. I am behavioral health therapist here at Mohegan Tribe. I don't know, all the good superpowers are taken. I mean, can I do a combination of all of them together, as I think they're all wonderful? I think the top one would be flying, though, because that I think would be wonderful. Just, I don't know, just being in the air and just feeling the wind and just being able to smell the air. I think those are all wonderful things. So I'd definitely go with that. Since my list is kind of like right here, I mean, I'm not sure who's left on the list. So I guess whoever is still left on the list.
Tag your it.
Tag your it.
Zan.
You can do it there.
Hey everybody, my name is Zan McGee. I'm the Family Engagement Advocate here at Fort Spanish Creek Indians. My role with the project is I do a lot of the budget work, and then we do events with the community. And if I had a superpower, it would be telekinesis, be able to move stuff from my mind.
That's a good one.
And I'll pass it over to my colleague here, Ashley.
Hello, I'm Ashley Edwards. I am a PTA here at the health department in physical therapy, and I don't really know necessarily my role is just support as much as I can the team in all of our events and all of our projects. And if I had a superpower, it would be to travel, time travel, to go back and see all the different decades.
Hi, I'm like getting the thing. I'm Brittany Martin. I'm physical therapist here. Over all the therapy we have OT, speech and physical therapy as well as massage therapy here. So I'm over that department, but I also work hand in hand with behavioral health. As you know, that kind of goes together, physical and mental. So that's kind of our goal here. And it's just definitely been a passion of mine. If I wasn't doing physical therapy, my backup was going to be like more psychology. So I took a lot of psych in class. My superpower, I guess, would be maybe being invisible. How many times do we say, I wish I was a fly on the wall in that room or something? So just being invisible sometimes, because I get tired of hearing my name called 50 times a day.
But they love you, Brittany.
Yeah.
Miss Kim available?
See if Kim could, she walks back to.
Miss Kim is still not available yet, but she is coming.
What about you got some more, Angela?
Good morning. My name is Angela Sular. I work for the Mohegan Tribe in our Grants and Self-Governance Office. And I just assist Terry and Stephanie or Donna with reports or questions. We kind of just help assist.
Thanks, Angela. Miss Rowland, Marty, Marty, are you on? Or Lisa? Lisa Mulligan? So they're both,
Sorry about that.
oh, there you are.
Is having trouble with her speaker. She's is the federal accounting specialist that does the reporting. I'm the grants and contracts compliance analyst here at the tribe, and I'm in charge of all of the compliance for the awards.
Thank you guys for showing up. And it looks like we're having, Catawba is having some issues trying to get on. They might be showing up. Oh, so we'll just go on. If they're able to make it, they're able to make it, and then we'll just go back to them again. So let's go ahead and move on to the next slide. All right, I know you've all seen this before, the communications release form, and this is really important because I know we have given this to you. Um, we need this consent form for all pictures when you're sharing your success stories. This is the only way that we're able to upload the pictures and share out to social media. So please, 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 please have this signed by each person. Porch, you always do a fabulous job. Hey, there's Kim. Kim, you want to Kim, you want to go ahead and say who you are and give us your superpower?
Okay. Kim Snow, I am the Director of Behavioral Health here at Fort Street. And what would your superpower be? My superpower would be not patience today. She might be invisible with me. We might be invisible together. Today, invisible would work. Today, I wish I could just sprinkle them and they would be quiet and listen.
Fairy dust. You do some fairy dust.
I would be a fairy. You know? Mind control fairy dust. Yes. Sorry. It's been a week.
Thanks, Kim. So again, make sure you fill this out. It's always important for us. Our communications team will not let us post any pictures or anything unless we have this. So thanks again for having that done. And whenever we have your success stories, it's always great to have it in there. Next slide. This is our goals and objectives. So when we wrote for this grant, we had continued partnership goals in mind. This was a perfect sustainability plan to marry these goals. So we asked for 5 goals objectives for programming and evaluating tools from the sustainability standpoint. Our strategy was based on foundational public health capabilities implemented to strengthen the ability to conduct assessments, surveillance, prepare for and respond to public health emergencies, develop and support policies, communications, community partnerships, organizational competencies, and accountability and performance management. Wow. So these are the goals. Increase community-based cultural interventions to address protective risk factors in tribal nations. Improve overdose data and surveillance in use at tribal nations. Implement health system interventions. Promote public safety partnerships and interventions. And assist tribal nations to initiate at least one innovative community-based strategy within their tribal community. Next slide. Well, actually, let's go back to that one. Does anybody have any questions on those goals or objectives? Those are something that you have already done and have sustained throughout. So, all right, next slide. Okay, this is where we want to hear from you. So, your programs, your successes, your challenges. Each tribal nation, you've done a phenomenal job with starting and sustaining your programs with your tribal nations that I cannot express enough gratitude for what you're doing. I wanted to give each of you a chance to share with each other a quick snippet of the incredible work you're doing. the best way to see what other tribal nations are doing within the USET region. So I am going to hand it off to who's next slide. Let's see who's next. St. Regis Mohawk. So we're going to go ahead and hand it off to you to give us a snippet of, some of the great work you're doing.
All righty. So, St. Regis Mohawk Tribe ACDP outpatient program. This is our team. Myself, the outpatient program coordinator, and then I have 4 counselors, admin, 2 peer supports, and then our clinical director and our assistant clinical director, Mel. So, okay. So culture as prevention, treatment, and recovery. So for the treatment part with the culture, what we've been able to do here was we've been able to provide our clients with cultural education. We have a cultural educator that comes in once a month for our groups, and they talk with the clients, and they're able to do that and share their knowledge with our clients. And it becomes more like a open dialogue for clients as well, to if they have any questions, to feel safe with their questions, bridging that gap identity, I guess. We also do cultural activities. That's what we've done. We've been able to we have a cultural artist come in monthly, and they might do some painting, beadwork, moccasin making class, those types of classes, and it's always tied into the culture and recovery. So they talk about, that as well, which is pretty neat. And our clients are so open to it and receptive to it. They love it. So they just want it to keep coming. So if they could have it every week for group, they would have it every week for group. So that's, and then like we've been able to provide gym memberships. We feel that that's the holistic, for their mental well-being, their physical, they're really grateful for that, because it's a 3-month gym membership and not everybody could afford that, right? So they've really appreciated it. And we just keep track. They come in, talk with their counselor, and they share about how many times they've gone to the gym, how it's helped them, feel good about themselves too, right? We also done gas cards. We've been able to, provide clients with gas cards because we don't have public transportation here. So a lot of times people don't have means of transportation. So with the gas card, they're able to, use that to give to their person that may be bringing them to the clinic for their appointments. So they're really appreciative of that as well. Those are the things we've been able to do. I don't know if I'm missing anything, Mel or Joss, or if I touched it all.
No, I think like the main thing for us is providing the culture, because a lot of our clients that come in have that identity crisis. So we just want to make sure that we're providing a good cultural foundation for them. So those are some of the initiatives that we implemented.
Yeah, and I feel like we really, do the, like how important our culture is to our recovery. They go hand in hand. So right here, our overdose awareness month. Every year since we've been, getting receiving our grant, we've done a overdose awareness day. So what we've been doing is we've been providing T-shirts for all community, providing Narcan, providing luminaries. Purple light bulbs is something that was pretty neat that we came up with about, everybody that's been affected by overdose. They receive a purple light bulb and they put it up at their house, as an outside light, so that's been pretty neat. It's really neat for me anyways to see, like when you're cruising around the territory and you see those purple light bulbs, and I know what it represents. So it's neat, to see that. So it's getting bigger and bigger every year. So that's cool. The Terra pouches as well, that's for the medication, old medication, and then the community resources we've been providing. This was our in August, we held our overdose awareness walk, and for the bags, family members, loved ones were able to write a little message to their loved one, that may have they have lost due to overdose. So it could get really like powerful, and could get emotional, but it's pretty neat. And so they put them all together like that, and we put a light in there. And then on our walking trail, we all walk together, little awareness. We had food tradition. That was the first, for our event this year, we were able to do our traditional foods: corn soup, fried bread, strawberry drink, dessert. So, it was really neat. And then hopefully we'll do that every year, continue it. Our community recovery belt. So this is the biggest, I think the coolest thing that, that was new this year. Well, in August, Joss had came up with this idea, and I thought it was so awesome. So I'll just read what our belt represents. So this community belt describes the healing journey of recovery. The two-row wampum belt teaches the Haudenosaunee people to keep their path straight and to always have a good mind, peace, and positive power during their journey. Although every recovery journey is unique, traditional medicines like the sweetgrass braid are used to help heal the mind, body, and soul when needed. The Haudenosaunee people are taught that we are one mind, one family, so when one struggles, we all struggle and help heal together. There are 4 great roots of peace to remind people that when they are lost, they can always follow their roots home. These roots lead back to the great tree of peace, where our eagle watches over and protects our Haudenosaunee nations. This was designed and described by Kelly Back, who's her business is the Fire Loom Creations. So what was really neat was we had her come in to the clinic here, and staff and clients were able to do a row or two, help and build and creating this belt. So that was really neat. It was a really positive response we got from people, not just from clients, but from staff here as well. They went in, they talked with Kelly, so that was really neat. It was awesome, actually. So
I just wanted to add something really quickly, Trish.
mhm.
I thought it was really cool because, like Trish was saying, that it wasn't just the clients involved in this. So that's kind of how it began. During groups, they would each literally stitch a row of beads. But then eventually we kind of opened it up to the whole health services, and we got like a lot of interaction with that, and people were just coming down and they were chatting with Kelly, they were chatting with other people, and it kind of just brought on this organic conversation about, like recovery is a community effort. And so I think doing this all together, it wasn't just staff to client, it was like everyone was kind of contributing to the same cause. So just wanted to kind of put that out there.
Thanks, Joss. Yeah, so it was really neat. That's awesome. And so for our upcoming goals, so for peer support, so what we're doing, we have these care baskets for individuals and families that are affected by drug overdose. So in the baskets, we've put like, I'm looking at Mel. What is it, Mel?
Uh,
I'm looking.
so we just put some like some materials, like journals and things for people that are grieving, some sweetgrass braids, some smudging kits, just to give support during this time. We also add some resources so that, if they need to reach out for any kind of support, they have that information. And then the goal is to reach back out a few weeks later after, just to do a check-in to see where they're at and stuff. So it's a nice part of our culture, like a gesture to provide those things anyway. But we're trying to incorporate that more just so that they have the resources and the extra support when they're going through something like that.
And unfortunately, we've given a care basket away already this year. But we had our peer Cass Phillip. She's the one that went down to the family, to the mother, and the mother really appreciated the gesture. She thought it was really nice that we were, gave her this care basket with the support. So other upcoming goals, positive messaging. We are going to be implementing Suboxone as a form of mat, something that we haven't done yet. So that is upcoming soon. And providing education to the community about Suboxone, I think is important as well. Also supportive outreach. Mal's more familiar with this part, but I think it's a great idea.
So with this, we were able to get some Narcan wall dispensary boxes, and we put them out in our community buildings so that they're more accessible to community. But part of our goal for this coming year is to also reach out to businesses and be able to provide some of that Narcan kits to local businesses in their restrooms and things like that. And still educating community on stigma too, because that still exists here. So just trying to do more around that.
So, yeah, thank you very much. We extend our deepest gratitude for your continued support over the years. Any questions? No questions? Okay, then. No. Fine then. No, just kidding.
Trish, you did a fabulous job. I told you were going to do a fabulous job.
I can't take all the credit. Joss is the one that created our presentation. She's awesome.
I love seeing
Thank
it.
you.
Yeah, I love
Team
seeing it.
effort,
Yes, definitely. Definitely. So I know these type of things give others ideas on what, other tribal nations are doing. So I'm glad you were able to showcase some of those things. Especially that, your belt. I really enjoyed seeing that again. So
Yeah.
thanks for showing that.
Yeah, and we definitely what we're going to do is have a shadow box built made for it and display it in our waiting area. So that's the
Good.
plan for it. Yes.
Oh, good.
So that would be really cool.
Yes. Yes. Well, there might be questions at the end too, Trish. So we'll hold on.
Okay.
All right, Porch, you are up.
Good morning, everyone. So we have part of our committee here. So Miss Ashley Edwards, I want to thank her. So she did the PowerPoint for us. So getting started. So we have our committee. We actually had a meeting yesterday. So So this is our mission. As a group, we came up with a mission is to strengthen and protect the community by promoting awareness, prevention, and healing around substance misuse. Through culturally grounded education, outreach, and community engagement, we work to reduce stigma, encourage wellness, and inspire hope. With compassion and collaboration, we walk beside those who struggle, offering support and understanding. Together, we strive to end the pain of substance misuse, restore balance, and build a healthier, more resilient future for all. And then the symbol next to it is kind of what we put on all of our campaign gear so that they kind of can see that we keep the overdose awareness constantly moving through our community. So this is kind of our success story for kickoff. So over the past year, our overdose prevention committee strengthened community connection, reduced stigma, and expanded access to life-saving resources through culturally grounded, community-driven efforts. One of our most impactful accomplishments was continue the growth of the annual Warrior Run, now in its third year. What began as a small awareness event has gone into a signature community gathering that brings together tribal leadership, departments, families, youth, and partner agencies to promote substance use awareness, wellness, and healing. The event provides education on overdose prevention, distributed harm reduction supplies, and creates a safe space for open conversations around substance use and recovery, helping normalize these discussions and reduce shame. So a large part of what our success story is buy-in from our own community. And that's kind of what we wanted to share as our success story. But beyond large events, we focused on meeting the community members where they are. We now have a Meet Me Where You Are harm reduction initiative where we distribute Narcan educational materials tailored to individual substance use risks and information on treatment and recovery services. So a lot of people who use that program are still in active addiction. We partnered with pharmacy staff to host community Narcan trainings, increasing confidence and readiness to respond to overdose. We also expanded youth engagement through new prevention-focused activities, including our first ever youth lock-in, addressing a long-standing gap to outreach our tribal teams. These combined efforts strengthen cross-department collaboration, increase visibility of available service, and reinforce the message that our community values life, healing, and support at every stage of the recovery journey. And then we have our presentation. So these are kind of our goals. Hopefully we will be able to implement ODMAP soon. We do want to increase our warrior outreach program. So that just started. So it actually reaches out to tribal members that are in prison, jail, or in a long-term rehab over 6 months. So we reach out to them. We ask permission if they want to hear from us, and then we kind of we ask them kind of what they want, what they need. If it is an education, do you want to get a degree while you're in there? Do you want to learn more about your culture? And then they send us back information, and we kind of go from there. And as we get closer to release, then we want to make sure their basic needs are met. They're already on the list for housing. Transportation, healthcare, exactly. So, to make sure they have that already ready and set, when they get out. We also want to increase our cultural awareness participation. We've been working, Brittany's sister actually works with TOPP, so we started our Yopon tea and different initiatives with that. We want to implement a guide for providers to offer patients alternative pathways for pain management. So actually PT started this initiative. So it's in the beginning phases right now. Incorporating more internal police department and surrounding areas involvement in community events and increasing community involvement, input, and participation. As the goals continue, we are partnering outside of our public safety also with our sheriff's departments, the SROs, to go into our school systems where our tribal member children are. So we have partnered with them this coming up year to do a Shining Star camp. So that's one of our goals. Yeah. Again, this is kind of something I've been wanting to see used here. We know pain exists, but we can't just shut them down or automatically just refer them to pain management, because sometimes our pain management's not always our best friends, especially for somebody who has or is in recovery. So I'm just two things that I'm trying to come up with is one is more of a pain model for our patients. So something that we can hand out from providers or just throughout the health department in general. If you are experiencing any type of pain or issue with that, then like working with other departments as far as, okay, how can we get you in like cultural classes, like get your mind off of that? How can we get you like set up on a good wellness program or getting started at the gym? How can we get you with like a good nutrition setup? As we know, diet in the gut is a big factor in pain and inflammation. So just using, working with different departments and providing that information to the patient so they have every resource available and attacking pain from like a multidisciplinary approach. Will also the goal is to work with providers as well, to also kind of have like an algorithm on where do we start, not just automatically going, okay, they hurt, send them to pain management, but instead, okay, can we manage that in-house? Is that things that we can do? What can we do in here before we send them to pain management? Or like just almost like a roadmap of, how can we approach pain from that standpoint and be all on the same page. As you know, we have multiple providers here. So no one wants a cookie cutter approach to anything, but I also think that there are certain patients who need that structure and we all need to come up with the same goals and the same message behind it.
So one of our goals, I think where we've been lacking a little bit is more community input surveys to collect data. We've had a hard time collecting data here. So one of the ways that we're going to start doing that is surveys. So we just had Sam did our first survey, our first big survey. We've actually done two, but the first big one, so we had 52 who participated in it. So we're trying to see, what events they attend. Just getting their
better
ideas.
ways to reach them, better ways to contact them. What are some of the events that they have attended or what they're interested in the overdose committee providing for them as a community. So we got a good idea of what those 52 people wanted.
We actually, so with USET's help, we were able to do PSAs, public services announcements. This was one of ours. I don't know if we have time. If we do, it's really moving. So so all the ones in the are pictured are tribal members. Stop. I mean, yeah, Zan.
There's Zan. We can't hear that. We can't hear the.
That's 10 pounds.
Here's home.
Sorry, I'm just going to interject. Can everybody hear the video?
No.
You can't hear it?
No.
But they can read at the bottom. So
yeah, that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Together we can fight this.
Oh, there we go.
Unity is stronger when we support each other. If you or someone you love is struggling with opioid addiction, reach out. Help is available. Hope is real. Recovery is a journey, but it's one worth taking. Together we can break the chains of addiction. As warriors, we are still standing strong.
So we have TVs in every building in a lot of different departments. So that played for months on departments. We started our Warrior Room. We also have a Warrior Room video that kind of was our hype video. So it's actually playing on the videos right now. And then we just kind of wanted to show you, like, as far as our committee, it's made up of behavioral health, primary care, wellness and therapy staffs, law enforcement, education, family services, and we have two very active community members right now. So we're super proud of that because before it was tribal members, but it was mostly staff that could come. Now the community has now started buying in and they're starting to participate. So just kind of a year in review. So our big event, which we do try to do one big event every quarter. So our first one is the Warrior Run. We're actually planning for it now. We got in the pond earlier this week just to see how it was. So that's a family-friendly event. Promotes physical health while overcoming obstacles. So here at Porch and you guys can tell, like, everybody likes a healthy event, playing ball, doing something outside. So we wanted to be able to accompany that then with substance abuse and buy-in from jerseys. We do tribal jerseys if you sign up for the event. And then at the end of the event, we do testimonies. We don't ask anybody to do that, but it just seems to grow every year that people want to share more and be able to talk. And not just the ones that have addiction, it's also their family members that have gotten up to be able to explain, what they've had to deal with. So it's very cathartic. I think that all of us sit there together, be able to listen to that.
And at the event, we also have multiple different like vendors who are set up either from like different departments, and they kind of give what they offer or like new programs they may have started. But also we have different, like even some of our non-for-profit or our other programs that kind of set up that kind of help with some of that, whether it be addiction, some of our rehab programs. It could be like even churches or anything like that, just to kind of, again, different people, different aspects. Yeah, right. Services, right. Within the community,
Exactly. Everybody kind of may, like, I guess, gravitate more to religion, or somebody may gravitate more to cultural. We just make sure we have all of that
approaches.
Absolutely. We do have our overdose awareness walk and event. This will actually be the 4th year for that. So we do normally get a speaker for that event. We walk beforehand. Along the walk and trail, we have different signs that are very encouraging. This time, yeah, kind of reducing stigma. This year we had to move the event every year because it's grown every year. So now we're actually in the biggest building that we can be in. And we still are packing out, thank goodness. So this year we actually did Tony Hoffman. So he's an Olympic athlete. And he got to give his testimony about addiction. So a lot of times there's a lot of guilt and shame, but they got to listen to someone who had succeeded. So it went really well. And at the end, we also do testimonies for that. We had 10 to 15, I think, that actually got up and spoke this time. Again, not just ones that have survived addiction. It was also daughters and sons of people that had addiction. It was mothers and fathers. It was coins. In whatever way they felt that they could give their testimony, they did. Zan, I'm going to let him talk about his lock-in for life.
So it was the first year that we had a lock-in for life. It was for ages 8 to like 17, I believe, or 12 to 17. And basically what we did was we had different stations set up, one for mental, one for spiritual, one for physical and emotional, and then we also had a cultural station showed up, and they rotated in between all of those stations. And after they were done with our education, they were able to have fun, do team building projects, and we had a big slip and slide outside for them. So yeah, it was really good, and we're gonna have it again this year, coming up in July. So
that's just some of our flyers that we put out before each of them.
this is smaller in between.
And that's just some pictures of the Warrior Run. The middle is the overdose man, and that's Zan with all his kids at our lock-in. That's fun. It was. And then I'm gonna let Miss Ashley Edwards talk about some of the new things that we did with the year in the review. Can you?
Yeah. So I had the idea this year that we would do the Dash for Cash. It was something one of the, I guess, local communities did something similar, but with a different theme, I guess you could say. So it's a scavenger hunt for families, friends, employees, community members, anybody could participate. They use their minds to solve these riddles. They were rhymes and riddles that were posted on Roundhouse, which is our platform for communication, every week for, I want to say 7 or 8 weeks. We did it each week. And the riddles would have information about substance abuse, mental or emotional health, and physical or nutritional health. So the end of the entire, I guess, hunt over the 8 weeks, they would have one prize winner, and those prizes were based off of the grand prize was based off points. So it was also another good way to get people to kind of tune into the Roundhouse, which is where we're trying to put out a lot of the information too. So it was exciting. I think a lot of people really enjoyed it.
They did.
And the search for merch was very similar, the same idea, scavenger hunt with the riddles that we'd have to solve. And that was just based more just youth, family and youth, really. So, and then saying,
Yeah, so then we had a red ribbon kickball game. This was the second time we had this event where parents can play against their kids in a kickball game. It's usually a sight to see everybody out there, but everybody has a good time with it. We have uh, usually the local PD, the tribal PD come out and they go over drug awareness and different ways that new trends that are happening and like emojis that are being used to talk about drugs, different canisters that are being used to hide drugs. So it was a good event for the youth.
And for the parents. So
Yeah,
so
and for the
parents
parents.
go in one direction, the youth go in the other. We kind of work with both sets. So Red Ribbon Week, we had Brittany, I think, had a great idea. So we did the ribbon. So we actually had that hanging on our wall right now, so that tribal members as they're coming through get to see it. The middle one, so we do Narcan training. So we do community training every quarter now. Every department. So we weren't allowed really even to discuss. And so I started working with USEP. We were not allowed to talk about Narcan, honestly. And now we have it in every building. That's our Dash for Cash. That's some of the winners that had hid. We had hid some. I guess y'all had hid it at the stadium.
Yeah.
And that's 3 of them that had fainted. So that's actually an interview. I won't read all of that, but we thought it was neat to be able to get with some people. So we actually have 2 more interviews that we weren't able to send because we couldn't figure out how. But we have an interview with a community member. I have an interview with our health director. And this is actually the head of internal communications. And we just had some questions about how they felt like we're moving along and
What the grant is doing for the community.
right. Like we have to change the way we think, the way we process things here sometimes to be able to move forward. And we just want to see if we're going in the right direction, and it hopefully will seem like we are. I don't know what happened.
So
Play.
yeah.
Yeah, play. Oh, this is the hype video for the warrior.
Okay, I just want to make sure, can everybody hear the audio?
No.
No.
You can't hear it?
No. Look at those awesome shirts.
Right. So those are the tribal jerseys that when they sign up. So we have a preserved magnolia. So this is where we have that. It's very peaceful. Just a beautiful area.
But what's really cool is we have a lot of families that do it together. So I'm talking about like it'll be grandma, mom, and daughter that do it together. So that's what's really awesome. It's just families coming together and doing it together.
And we run across the creek in March, yes.
And all those obstacles.
Yeah, that was really cool.
Yeah.
Until you have to do them.
Yeah. Or go in the cold. But yeah, we love, like, that was our biggest first event, I think. But yeah. Yeah, first love, yes. Any questions? Is that everyone? Yes. Oh, okay. So the rest is just pictures. So video on that.
Well, thank you guys. I appreciate it. So much work that you've done over the past and continuing to do. I'm telling you, it's just Just so much great work that we wanted to showcase. So there probably will be questions at the end if nobody has questions. Mel, do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. I was just gonna ask for the obstacle course. Did you guys have to build that or is that already existing?
No, we had to build it. So our facilities, they kind of bought in. The first year was a little rougher, but they still built. And then I think our company, one of the companies actually built one for us. So it was all kind of donated. And then facilities kind of bought in and they got excited about building this last year. So, yeah, they ramped it up.
We've reached out to like sponsors this year to get some sponsorships for that, but also just reaching out to some of our construction companies, like local construction companies, to build some of them, and they find it fun. So at the end of the day, you kind of have to like,
Yeah, the tire market,
figure out
they were
how
ready
to
to get rid of tires.
how to be creative with asking for help.
Yeah.
So
Mel, I think something like that would work in your area too. I think you guys would really have fun with that.
Yeah, we do a yearly color run. But we always wanted to do a mud run thing. It's just we didn't know like where to put it and then who would build it. So
Yeah, our facilities department, we pretty much do an open PO for them right now. They kind
And see, each
They
year
actually
they're
get
able to
excited.
they're able to preserve some of the things that they've built. So every year they don't have to build as much, but
Yeah,
we're able to reuse, you know.
yeah, I was about to say from the beginning, we've definitely added and it's definitely grown. At first, just start small and just a few obstacles. Because that's the thing is like for me, I want to keep it like you want to keep it challenging, but also you want families to participate. And some of the ones that we're reaching out to are probably not the most physically fit, so you kind of have to like balance that.
So
You know
we
what
do
I
a
mean?
fun run.
Yeah.
So we
Yeah.
do a fun run and a competitive run. So the
Yeah.
families who don't really want to go, crawling through the mud or jumping over huge obstacles, they are able to just go around and enjoy nature and be with family.
Yeah, and you hear them cutting up and laughing. It's just a fun day.
We've even had like, some of our elders that will even walk around, like even with their rollators or whatever, like walk the trail. So at the end of the day, you can kind of make it for everyone.
And then we
located
feed
in
hot
like a
dogs and
park.
Kanika substitutes. I'm sorry.
I was asking, is it located in like a park?
Like a nature preserve, yes, is one of our.
So it's a tribal.
Yeah.
Okay.
We are made to take them down after the race, so then our facilities we have to find places to put all the stuff until the next year, and then facilities takes it back out the week of.
Cool, great idea.
So Mel, they also have it listed on like active.com or something, don't you guys, to get the word out? And then they have people staying overnight, like putting up tents and things over the weekend, don't they?
Yeah, so that's why the preserve loves us when we actually do it, because we have to, ask for permission to be able to do that. But they love us because we'll fill up the park that week. So they're in tents and RVs, and then a lot of them will sign up that day when they see what we're doing. So it ended up just being really fun, laid back. And then we do the testimonies at the end.
Any other questions?
Were we able to get Catawba on, members from Catawba on, Bernice?
Oh, I see Erica. Erica, do you have I see you joined, Erica. Are you on? We'll go ahead and go with Mohegan next because Erica might have trouble.
Okay.
So Terry, just give a little bit about a success story or something. I don't know if you wanted to share anything.
Yeah, we have a little slide thing. Can we put that up?
Yeah, just can you send it to us really quick and then we'll
Can we share it from our screen?
I don't know if we can.
I'll stop sharing and then they can share their screen.
Okay. Sounds good.
Yep.
Don't
All right,
ask
can
me
everybody see
anything
that?
about technology.
There we go. Everybody see that?
Can you push her up top?
Yeah, we can see it.
All right, let me see if I can just move that up there. Good.
Okay, so I'm Terry. Stephanie's here. Donovan Sickle helps coordinate a lot of this stuff. So we're with the Mohegan Tribe, and we're doing a summary of what we did in 2025, as well as looking ahead and projecting for our 2026 goals. And so slide 2 is we put in for smudging, because one, that's very sacred to us. We have daily smudging with the chief or the elders, council of elders. We offer it for every person that walks through our department. If they want to smudge before they have a session or meet with families and whatever. So we've really worked hard to bring our culture into our behavioral health and addiction services. Okay, next slide. Of course, we focus on mind, body, and spirit. And then the next one, 4, is this is kind of the premise of what we do. Accept people where they are before challenging them where they haven't been. That's kind of, we're meeting where they're at, and we have to hear them, right? And not force them right away. We have to build relationships. And then 5. And so in treatment, we use evidence-based treatments that have been proven to be effective with Native Americans: cognitive behavioral therapy, narrative therapy, mostly systemic, especially family therapy, and motivational enhancement therapy. And then we have, this is the overview. I won't go through each one, but we do a good amount, like the Great American Smokeout, National Take Back Days. We do tabling events like seasonal affective disorder, and how when you're sad that it might lead to coping skills that aren't so healthy, like using and all of that. Okay, next one. And then we do our trail of wellness with the youth in the summer and after school. We did opioid overdose preventions. We have cultural week. Next. And then this is just focused on recovery support services. We have sweat lodges, drumming circles. We have our sober house, supported work program, and our 4 Winds recovery group. That's every week. And this is just a little bit to show how much we've been seeing with people that are dual diagnosed. And then this opens up to working with youth. We have our Walking the Trail of Wellness youth summer and after school camp. So where we talk about cultural prevention, storytelling, through storytelling, crafting, and cultural teachings. You sure you don't want to present this?
I'll do some of it. Okay, so I mean, over the summer, this past summer, was actually my first summer working with Terry with the youth. We did an activity, the Tree of Life activity. So we work with the kids, and it kind of goes into the next slide. Having them talk about, where they come from, talking about, their family of origin, talking about some of their cultural traditions, what they do within their families, cultural traditions like holidays, things like that, what they do, currently in their home, and then kind of focusing on some of the community teachings as well, respect, balance, looking at the connections or cultural identities within the tribe, kind of moving up, where they are now, who they are, some of their personal attributes, some of their strengths, some of their values, kind of working with them on skills for helping them to say no. And then part of the prevention focus is, strong identity, coping skills, helping to reduce some of the risky behaviors that they may currently have, or helping to stay away from some of those risky behaviors, and kind of working up the tree. Branches, helping them make healthy choices, looking at, future dreams that they may have, goals for the future, choosing behaviors that are going to protect their mind, body, and spirit. Challenges they may face moving forward, looking at peer pressure, stress, anger, sadness, seeing unhealthy choices around them and helping them try to avoid them if they can. And then looking at parent education, helping parents to kind of recognize if there's changes in their youth's behavior, if there's issues academically with them, if there's drops in, say, their academic performance, grades, if there's behavioral changes in school, drop in peer engagement, things like that. Working with parents on internet safety, because that's one of the big ones now, especially as kids are getting older. I mean, even starting with the younger kids, knowing like if you don't know people online, you shouldn't be interacting with them, especially through one of the big ones is Roblox, as kind of a lot of people know now. It's one of the bigger ones. And, we actually talk to our kids a lot about that too. Having conversations with our youth about risks and dangers of counterfeit pills and looking for opiate overdose and having those conversations about what it looks like and when it's appropriate, calling 911, how to help them, letting them know that if there is any issues that they're not going to get in trouble for reaching out for help. Part of the after school program and prevention education is kind of teaching them life skills, being more self-aware, teaching empathy, sympathy, improving interpersonal relationships, things like that, stress management, building refusal skills, cultural connections, strengths, protective factors, asking for help and letting them know that it's not a negative thing when they have to ask for help. And these are some of the pictures that the kids drew over the summer camp, kind of looking at, I guess, personal growth, self-esteem, things like that. There's a lot more pictures that the kids drew, but I kind of picked out some of my favorites, to be honest. So
yes.
Right.
Okay, then we have our goals for 2026. So the first one is participate in our Eastern Health Collaborative, which consists of 32 agencies. Now I lost my notes. And it focuses on, to focus on health topics to keep children healthy and well. Mm-hmm. Goal 2, create and conduct a needs assessment. We're about 75% done with this. It was a goal we had last year that we didn't get to come to fruition because I did not have enough staff. But this year we're fully staffed, so we'll get to those positives. So goal 3, I'm excited about this one. Stephanie and I came up with this to purchase and install a smart naloxone station. So it's like a vending machine. Yep. You push this big red button and you can get a dose of naloxone. And goal 5 is our standard family is culture is prevention event where we bring in local outside agencies. We have all our tribal member service departments here. We have elders. We have, the tribal council. And it's a big, fun, it's like being in the living room. Interaction, fun and games. We do prevention messages. And it's a really nice way, try to build those family relationships, which we all know are very protective factors. And each year we're doing it, we're getting more and more people, so which is exciting. And then this is just, I tried to put the goals we just went through on one little slide to show the different ways we will meet these goals.
And that's our last slide.
And that's us, healing, walking the trail of wellness, healing circles, storytelling, crafting, and dancing and drumming.
And let me get out of this if I can. I can figure out how to do it. There it is. The big button that says stop sharing. There we go.
Thank you guys. You know what's so funny is that all of you said that you weren't going to be able to do a 3 to 10 minute slideshow. And it's so funny that you have. So I told you it was going to work. Erica, do you have something to talk through really quick? I know we're like getting short on time. But if you can, just kind of give us some type of success story, that would be great.
Sure. So, as far as last year, some of the great successes we saw is the installment of our risk reduction machine that we have over at our food distribution center. So, not only is it stocked with Narcan doTERRA bags, but it's also stocked with pregnancy tests, xylazine test strips, pregnancy kits, safe sex kits, hygiene kits, gun locks, medication safety storage pouches, and all of these other things that are all to us risk reduction supplies. And we're pleased to say that in 2026 we're actually going to be purchasing a digital version of the machine thanks to our amazing people at USET. And so we're going to be purchasing a digital machine. Why that's important is we've had the good trouble of just having that machine be so completely wiped out because of the amount of product that's going out into the community. So that's a good problem to have, but it's also been very costly. And we know that a lot of the people that have utilized the machine were not tribal citizens because there's no it's just a standard vending machine that we have in place right now. So that's going to help a lot. But as far as a lot of the things that we did in 2025, is that we every April have our Celebrate Sobriety banquet. So this is a banquet, a catered dinner where we honor the lives of all of our people in recovery that have maintained at least 6 months of sobriety. We give them super cool coins and t-shirts and certificates just to say, hey, we see you. You're doing an amazing job, and we're thankful for you. Um, and then also in May, every year we have Mental Health Awareness Week. This year, May the 14th, we'll have Mental Health Awareness Day. Again, we set up a booth. We provide information and education to the community. We also have little raffles that we do to increase our community engagement. Every year we have an annual overdose awareness day and a walk to sadly honor those lives of those citizens that we have lost to overdose. That will be August the 29th this year. And then in September, our big event that we have every year for National Recovery Month is our River Ramble for Recovery. So if you can find your way to South Carolina to the Catawba Nation, we'd love to see other tribes and other people come. It's a kayak race down the river. But again, we have drumming, smudging, traditional foods, but also a lot of educational story sharing and everything connected to this event. All of the funds that we raise from this event also go into our Healing Village Fund. So for 2026, I'm proud to say that we're going to be building our first transitional houses here on the reservation in the project that I created called the Healing Village. So all of the funds from sponsorship, raffles, and everything from that event go into that Healing Village Fund. Last year, we raised over $17,000 at the event to go into that fund, and I'm hoping to, match and exceed that this year. Um, some of the things that we do on a regular basis here. We have counseling. We have a culturally based IOP program that runs Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And the great thing about doing it ourselves is cultural immersion is a huge part of that. So there's traditional foods that are offered to the citizens, traditional arts. We also do drum assisted therapy. We have 2 weekly support groups. We have a recovery warrior and a wellbriety here twice a week. Um, so some of the new things that we're adding this year is we've created a new Living with Autism group because we have a lot of citizens who are taking care of family members with autism or who have autism themselves. And we're also creating a craft group. So this is a community reinforcement. So to educate and provide connection to our people who are family members supporting those with mental health or substance misuse issues. We've also created a new grief support group. And then one of our biggest goals for this year is to get the General Council voting approval for our health care ordinance so that the tribe will take over control of all of our health care from the IHS clinic. Why that's so important is so that we can expand services not just to tribal citizens, but to their spouses and other household members more. But it also will give us the opportunity to start third party billing and generate revenue because we're solely grant funded and there's so few grants that are focused specifically on mental health and substance misuse. Our primary one for that is the Tribal Opioid Response Grant, which I supervise. and of course the funding that we thankfully receive from USET that helps to support a lot of our activities and the cultural inclusion. So we're doing a whole lot here, but we're doing a lot of great growing and expanding our division and adding in public health, expanding our wellness and everything. So we're just, very grateful to the Creator and our ancestors to be able to do what we do and to make our culture and traditions a part of everything. Um, so yeah, that's pretty much it in a nutshell.
And that is a lot, Erica. Thank you so much. So can you tell us who you are and where you're
Yes,
from?
Tanake Nia Erica Pursley. Ye Iswankare. Hello, my name is Erica Pursley. I am a proud member of the Catawba Nation. I currently serve our tribe as our behavioral health specialist, CPSS. So I do IOP, group support meeting. I'll be going to do the craft meeting. I do all referrals to treatment, case management, and pretty much whatever they ask or tell me to do. Um, I also do a lot of training and education, overdose awareness training, crisis intervention, Narcan, all of those things, anywhere and everywhere that I can, and travel all over the place in my many roles. Currently, I'm also the standing Mrs. Catawba for 2025, 2026. So I use all of these things to my advantage to tell everybody the things that they don't know and that we need them to hear so that we can continue to get the help and the support that we need for our people in our communities. So,
Thanks, Erica. Much appreciated. Thanks for all the work that you guys do there. All right, guys, next slide. Go ahead, Javeria.
Okay, um, I'm just going to take a few minutes to go over ODMAP. I know that many of you already are familiar with it to some extent. As you know, part of our Strategy 2 grant is to implement ODMAP within tribal nations so that tribal nations have a robust surveillance system for tracking fatal and non-fatal drug overdoses. ODMAP is a tool developed by the Washington-Baltimore High Intensity Drug Trafficking Area, also known as HIDA, and it provides near real-time suspected overdose data to support public safety and public health efforts. Our USIP planning and infrastructure team has created a really great ODMAP toolkit that provides detailed descriptions of how ODMAP works, how to sign onto it, how to implement it into your existing agencies within your tribal nations. So this slide is taken from the ODMAP toolkit. The toolkit is available as a physical copy, and also there'll be a link provided to the digital version. If you don't already have access to it, we can provide that. So I just wanted to go over the benefits of ODMAP to reiterate why this is such a great system to use. ODMAP allows you to track suspected drug overdoses, both fatal and non-fatal, in real time. Immediate notification of overdose incidents allows you to identify spikes and clusters early. This data not only improves emergency response by allowing coordination between EMS, law enforcement, and hospitals, but quality real-time data can then also help guide your harm reduction efforts, such as naloxone distribution and prevention campaigns. ODMAP ensures that tribal nations have control over their data, and so you can choose how and with whom to share it. Having quality real-time data that documents overdose trends will support future funding applications. And finally, it facilitates partnerships with neighboring counties, states, and federal partners without compromising on data sovereignty. Um, So as I mentioned before, USET's planning and infrastructure team developed an ODMAP toolkit. It's linked here. And basically the toolkit provides a more detailed information about ODMAP, how to become an ODMAP user, how to implement it into your tribal nation, and detailed policies and procedures that you would need to know. And I'll hand it off to Bernice to talk about the opioid task force.
So I know some of you were involved in the opioid task force at one point. USET opioid task force aims to be a cross-sector collaboration between the tribal nations, individuals in health, justice, and social service sectors, and federal and non-federal partners. We aim to have quarterly meetings, opioid treatment and prevention. We look toward OD MAP for the overdose surveillance, for building partnerships with state and federal agencies to increase tribal citizen representation and harm reduction programs. We would really like to sustain this. The last time we met was at Impact Week last time. Our Zoom capacity has really fizzled out. We are trying to think of ways to make this important again. ODMAP and cross-sector drug detection systems is really one of the key factors that really come to mind when bringing this back to the forefront. So more to come on opioid task force again. Next slide. Here you go, Javeria.
Okay, so I'm gonna take a minute to talk about the evaluation process and the progress reports. You guys are all already familiar with how this works. Its progress reports are quarterly, and they're your opportunity to share with us the incredible work that you do. Previously, Amanda Watts was our evaluation specialist, and she was the person that connected with you all for your progress reports. Since she has now left USET, I will be taking on that role. So as I mentioned, the progress reports are quarterly, and about a month before they are due, you will receive an email from me with a FormSite link that allows you to fill out your progress report on the FormSite platform. And then once you submit it, we automatically receive it, and then I send you a copy back. Okay. So this is just a list of dates for each each quarterly progress reports for 2026. The reporting timeline basically shows the time period that each quarter covers. You'll notice that the first one says December 15th, but we actually changed that to January for this year due to the holiday break. And then these are the due dates for the remaining 3 quarterly reports. The due dates listed here are the official due dates within the contract, but you'll notice that some of these fall on a Saturday or Sunday. So if they do fall on a weekend, just consider the due date the Friday prior. So for March 15th, which is a Sunday, the due date would be March 13th. And again, you'll get reminder emails from me as the due date approaches. Are there any questions about the progress report due dates? Okay. Now I hand it off over to Jaleesa.
Okay, here are our budget and financial status report templates. This is what the budget page looks like that I'd send out for you to fill out and you'd submit it back to me. And to the right is the financial status report that you'd fill out and you would submit it to me, Brian Wessels, and the subrecipient report email. I'm going to do the next slide. Okay, following the same reporting deliverables as the progress reports, this FSR reporting period started on December 1st and it ends February 28th. And the FSR is due March 15th. Like Javeria said, since the 15th falls on a Sunday, we'd love if you could get that FSR in by the 13th of March. Financial review with USAID program and finance staff, disbursement of next payment needed when the funding is at 25% or less. That reporting timeline period was from September 1st and ends February 28th. We will have a meeting to discuss the up-to-date financial progress, and we'll assess spending and financial needs, and that's estimated to happen in March. The FSR reporting period picks back up in March 1st to May 31st, and that due date is June 15th, and the last FSR reported period is from June 1st to August 30th, and the due date for that FSR is due September 15th. And again, you would send all of those FSRs to me, Brian Wessels, and our subrecipient email. Go to the next slide.
All right, we're going to introduce you to Steve Adams next. Are you on, Steve?
I am. Thanks, Bernice.
Uh-huh.
So I'm having camera issues. But I just want to speak for just a second on the importance of the FSRs for us. Well, not only for us, for everyone involved. So over the last few years, scrutiny on pass-throughs and contractual has ramped up in the compliance space, and we know the challenges that some additional challenges that we faced with the current administration as far as recipient pass-throughs. So it's really important that we get these FSRs on time so that we're able to track our spending, keep everyone not from being cash poor. We don't want you to run out of money if you're due funding, and we want to make sure that those FSRs get in so that we have that on file so we can send out those payments. Really, it's not a USET trying to track the tribes. It is more of a making sure that we are compliant at this level because ultimately USET is responsible for the funding. But we appreciate the partnership that the tribes offer us. It's not lost on us. Don't misunderstand it. But it's very, very important that we now more than ever that we stay on top of the FSRs and the programmatic reports in an effort to stay compliant and to be able to defend whatever we need to defend when it comes to federal funding and acquisition of those dollars. Really, that's all I have in that space. I don't know if Layla has anything to offer in the development space or not. There she is.
Hi all. Let me turn my camera on so you all can see me. Hi, good morning, afternoon, wherever you are in the country. My name is Layla Langley. I'm a citizen of the Coshawta Tribe of Louisiana. I'm fully remote from Southwest Louisiana, and I'm also the USAID Development Director. So development, just to give kind of a little bit of background, if you've not heard my little spiel before, development really is here to support all of the programmatic work that happens across the organization. So we work very closely with Bernice and the rest of the OTPH teams to just offer whatever we can that of the activity that happens more in the background, or I call it back of house. So we are typically responsible for getting our our continuation applications in, identifying future funding, having conversations with agencies, clearing up questions during award management, all of that fun bureaucratic stuff that ends up being not so fun on most days. But we like it. We're grant nerds and on my team. But yeah, I will pretty much just echo a lot of what Steve just said. My team is also responsible for the grants and grants compliance part of the organization's work. So we are just kind of constantly especially lately, trying to stay apprised of like what's going on in the federal space. I don't think it's a well-kept secret that so much has changed over the last year and a half, truly. So lots of changes there. We expect a few more changes, truthfully. So we are just kind of constantly doing a lot of monitoring in those spaces and then trying to make sure that that communication of what may have changed or projected to change is flowing to our program lead, so Bernice, and then ultimately flowing all the way through to our tribal subrecipients and partners as well. So I'll just say yes, there's a lot more scrutiny, as Steve said. So, just kind of cautioning for this group, if we happen to ask for maybe an ad hoc FSR, that's really, depending on the situation, it will always be coordinated through Bernice and her team and whoever she's identified. So there's really no change there, but just know we are kind of behind the curtain, so to speak, helping to support things, clear up things, and doing our best to streamline these processes and not be a hindrance overall, but also maintaining as much protection for not just USET, but ultimately our tribal nation partners as well. So, anything else, Bernice, like specifically that you'd like me to cover or Steve to cover?
I think you did great, Layla. Thanks
Okay.
for you and Steve for jumping on the call. I appreciate it.
Yeah, no worries. Good to see everybody, even virtually, and I hope you all are staying warm if you're a part of the country that's impacted by this weather.
Thank you.
Thanks.
All right. So, if you have any questions for Steve or Layla at any time, you can reach out to me. We can always patch you through to them. I know we had conversations in the past, and you've always been able to get to them, so that's always available. Our last thing is our updates. We have Reclaiming Kickoff, like as we always shown. We are in our 5th year. We just had one January 27th, occurs on the 4th Tuesday of every month. Here is the code. Myrene, do you want to talk about that code right there?
Yes, above on the right next to our logo is a QR code that can be scanned via your phone or computer, which will take you to the registration of our Reclaiming Native Psychological Brilliance series that occurs every Tuesday of every month from 1 p.m. Central to 2 p.m. and then 2 to 3 Eastern, 11 to 12 Pacific, and 12 to 1 Mountain Time. So once you have completed the sign up, you'll be sent an email from our reclaiming team with instructions on how to download the invite to your calendars and have the recurring series in your calendar.
So it occurs every 4th Tuesday.
Yes, every 4th Tuesday of the month.
All right, and then we got the USET Impact Week that's coming up in Arlington, Virginia on March 9th through 12th. Hope to see you guys there. We have our best practices July 15th through 17th. We have, and with best practices, we'll probably reach out to some of you to provide some sessions for us, as we always do. We have the CDC Tribal Overdose Prevention Meeting in Atlanta, April 14th through 16th. You're welcome to come. I'm going to send out information on that, and that is pertaining to this grant. So it's to meet with other tribal partners across the nation. So it'll be a great event. I'm going to send you information once I get it. And like I said, that is in Atlanta, April 14th through 16th. And then there's also the 3rd National Conference on American Indian Alaska Native Injury and Violence Prevention, which is a partner of CDC, taking place Wednesday, July 15th through July 17th in Green Bay, Wisconsin. So that's kind of an offset of their overdose prevention, CDC overdose prevention. It's another meeting that's happening. So there's 2 projected meetings that CDC overdose prevention is having that is available to you guys. So I will go ahead, once I receive the information, I'll go ahead and send it over to you, so you can prepare for that if you would like to join. And next slide. Do we have anything else? I think that is it. So we appreciate you all today for coming and joining us. And it was great to see your lovely faces and to share the information that you had. And of course, we, like always, we appreciate all the things that you do and all the things that you continue to do. So does anybody have any questions for us? I guess not. It is lunchtime, so go enjoy. Have a great one.